Hey YouTube, over this next week, we're going to take a look at some of the players from various regions who could be next up. And it's going to be starting today with Mech, as Mech is going to drop a fake on a Zapatos here in what I should qualify is this private lobby of 1v1. So no MMR on the line for this one that got uploaded. Zapatos is the one who did upload it. So you never know, maybe these guys just messing around slightly, not sweating as hard as they maybe otherwise would have. Or, who knows, maybe they're sweating even harder considering this to be an intense scrim as these guys prep to play some NA 1v1s in the future. Shout out Ascension Protocol if you saw anything about that. James Bot putting on a tournament that I believe I'm going to be able to stream at least part of or help in some way. It should be pretty fun leading into a North American 1v1 LAN that I think both Mech and Zapatos will at least be attempting to qualify for. Who knows if they'll end up making it. But why are we talking about Mech and why are we looking at these new players? Ever since we have covered, Rocket League as an esport, we have been carried on this channel by the up-and-coming youngsters. And as time has gone on, the up-and-coming youngsters have maybe gotten less frequent, as Zapatos is going to read this fake kickoff, or maybe it's just that Epic has turned their, age minimum down to 13 to the point where maybe they're not coming out like they used to before, where they're kind of hidden behind this guise of mystery for 2 years and then eventually get revealed as one of the top players. Well, anyways, Mech is one of those players who maybe we should be watching out for. He's a 14-year-old player in North America who actually just made main event, so he is one of the few players who have done so to make main event under 15. Now, of course, back in the day of the likes of Daniels or the Chronics, who probably would have done it as well, they couldn't do that because it was against the rules. So they had to sit there on the best teams in rank X, rank S a long time ago and show that they could play, but wait until they finally got a team. Mech has already made it. He has made it into the most recent main event, I believe, although he was not able to go terribly far. I think it was an 0-2 exit. It might have been the team that actually got unlucky and had to play ultimates after the DQ in the lowers, which is a bit of a bummer, but what can you do? Now today, we're going to be watching him play just a couple replays against Zapatos. Now, I don't think 1v1 is his thing. If you look at his tracker, it's not like 1v1 is his strongest mode like lots of these other youngsters, or at least the ones that, would have really strong modes on both sides. Oh, Zapatos is at least getting a little bit fancy here in this replay. But hopefully it's one that he looks to focus on, because as I know James Bot thinks after talking to him recently, 1v1 ability and skill often ends up reflecting in all of Rocket League in general, and that's why you see so many correlations between the best in the game in ones and threes, as Zapatos is going to get a demo and try and make some magic happen with his dashing, and then will eventually get himself his goal as he brings it over to Mech's side. Zapatos, by the way, the video is not necessarily about him. Credit to him for uploading the replays in the first place, but he has been continuing to improve his game. He's one of those guys who played, I believe, in at least one of the next gens. I can't remember how old he is now. Next gen was a long time ago, so once upon a time, I believe he was playing at a young enough age. It's been so long now. It's been so long. But he has been one of those guys that's been around for a while. And what I was really trying to say is that he has continued to improve his game just like his other fellow top players. Whereas some, players lose interest, maybe fall off, maybe hit a plateau. I think that Zapatos has continued to grind and is maybe showing his peak ability ever in ones right now, which can be exciting to think about. As Zapatos is going to play a bit of keep away with Mech and make it 6-2, so it's not going to start off, very easy here for the youngster. Zapatos, even though he's freestyling, that's what he does all the time, so he's not necessarily taking it easy on Mech here, as Mech looking for a way to find some offense. Actually might have just caught Zapatos off guard with a pretty weird tap. It looks like he's maybe going to try and take the ball and take it back to his own half, but actually gets the perfect little doink to just pop it straight up in the air and make it possible to turn back around. Now, that's not often something you see. A delayed kickoff from Mech. He actually gets himself demoed by Zapatos, who is now seemingly trying to bait him in, and did exactly that, except for instead of chipping it around him, he just is going to low 50 him and make it 7-3. Zapatos doing a nice thing here, playing these private matches against Mech. I don't know why they decided to play him. Maybe just get some reps for the youngster against one of the top players in the game right now, because I think Mech is around honestly, when I looked it up earlier, 1,300, 1,400 in ones. Now 1,500, that's around the time that you start showing up on the top 100 leaderboard, and Zapatos, of course, probably like 1,600, maybe even high 1,600 since he's near the top 15. So no question, he is heavily favored here in a matchup against Mech. But I thought it'd be the most interesting in terms of replays to watch, because I think we just like ones. I think it's fun to see, get a little bit more of how the player moves around the field when he's playing in ones, even if they're a little bit less used to it. Sometimes, you know, you may lose the game, but you show some, you know, spectacular plays here and there, and you could kind of see the source of what the player's up to. Now, I actually haven't watched a ton of Mech, even though Mech has made it into the RLCS. Didn't catch any of his games there. Haven't seen him too much in the twos lobbies. So I am learning alongside with you guys what we can maybe expect. I think I saw on Twitter something like Mech is the new first killer from, you know, somebody, or will be the new first killer. Just wait. Obviously, he's not there yet, but, you know, first killer was once upon a time one of those famous youngsters who ended up taking over the game. Maybe that will be Mech for North America, and we're going to go and check out, you know, a couple other regions, up-and-comers as well as the week goes on. Little delayed kickoff for Mech. We'll get him a 6th goal. Really high-scoring game here with 57 seconds left to go. It is going to be a wave dash kickoff for both, and Mech actually goes underneath to catch Zapatos. And now will half flip to pick up 100 and has a great position. He's going to bring it to the ground and actually go for low 50. I think he loses a little bit of his options when he kills the dribble like that. And Zapatos doing well to teach him that lesson by turning and challenging away. But Mech will start again. Not sure that he has the, you know, luxury of going as slow as he's going right now. I think he's the one who needs to go quickly. But now he's forced back into net. Thought he was going to go in and out. Instead, he decided to land and try and make a play down to that bottom corner, but still unable to do it. So 10-6 in favor of the Zap Dasher, as Mech going to lose another kickoff when he desperately needed one. And Zapatos will miss his top corner flick. And looks like he will get countered by Mech, but I'm guessing not much more left to be done here. These guys playing private matches. Probably no forfeit like we'd see in ranked at some point earlier. But these guys putting in work and just scrimming essentially. And this game goes to Zapatos. But we have another one between them two coming up next. Zapatos and Mech. I believe they ended up playing 4 games. We're looking at 2 of them, to be fair. And we're watching them in order that they were played in. I'm not sure if these were the 2 at the end or the beginning. Either way, Mech maybe going to show a little bit of improvement here as we head into this second game, as he's now able to reset the scoreline and is looking to reset the ball, as he wanted to bring it back into his own half, but didn't do the best job of clearing it. Allowed Zapatos to get right back in, and Zapatos is so zippy, man. And we remember seeing this at Turf Wars, and every time I've watched him play, just all over the ball. Loves to play quick, can sometimes stay a little bit too involved on low boosts and get him scored on, but not any worries he's having right now against Mech. And also that kickoff is one that is really one of the only ones that is actually being called out nowadays. There's been so much, you know, development and tons of players kickoffs that you actually don't hear certain players having, you know, being kickoff merchants necessarily anymore. But Zapatos is that guy. Zapatos is that guy that, you know, I hear consistently from other top players that playing against his kickoff is miserable. So he can hold that high as he demos Mech and looks to reset on his own back wall. Can he go the distance? He's going to try and start it with a nice canceled musty reset. Doesn't have the boost to get back and double that in. But Mech, who pre-jumped to stop it, not going to be able to counter either. As Zapatos going to go try again. Maybe he's trying his Diaz challenges. He's going to pass to himself off the ceiling as the reset, but it's a soft shot, so Mech is able to control it. And now, wait, did this turn into a freestyle 1v1? I don't think it did. I think it was just Zapatos, yeah, going for a couple nice shots. He is going to turn immediately and prove that it didn't turn into a freestyle 1v1 despite what Zapatos was doing, as Mech is going to be able to read that early challenge and get his first goal. Interesting kickoff camera bug that seems to happen. Zapatos is the one who uploaded it. This is not Mech going through and changing his camera settings mid-game. It's just pulling us in to the default ones, I guess, as a slight bug. As Zapatos going for a very aggressive pre-flip and then actually panicked and tried to return quickly. Ended up mistiming the ball and going to be forced to shadow as Mech will execute on the flick and make it 2-2. Another camera bug here, as I'm sure Mech did not adjust his camera settings at all. Looks like it's going to happen after each kickoff, maybe. Zapatos does not like this setup, and Mech is doing nothing to take it away from him. I don't think Zapatos should be able to get this dribble going as cleanly as he did, and that is something that Mech can think about going forward. If someone's going to be awkward on the back wall or back corner, you do not let them go to the ground and have a free dribble like that. And Mech did, and Zapatos taught him a lesson. As Mech, actually, interesting decision to pass to himself. And then he fakes Zapatos. Instead of shooting right away, he lets Zapatos on low boost chain dash his way back and shoot himself past the nets to make it free for Mech on the follow-up. This kickoff is pushed into the orange half, but Zapatos actually doing a little bit of a similar tap that Mech got in that first game. And now an air dribble bump. It'll be a demo. Zapatos will make it 4-3 as he takes the lead just a little bit over halfway into this game. Zapatos with his signature dash into the back corner. Again, I really don't think Mech should be allowing Zapatos to so easily catch this ball. He's turning the shadow so far away such that Zapatos isn't even worried about a challenge. I mean, you might not be able to challenge because Zapatos might read you if you do, but you really have to make Zapatos sweat by being just a little bit closer there. Now Zapatos going for his Diaz challenge. Interesting, is he doing it on purpose? Just sideways air dribbling across the field. Doesn't seem like the most efficient way to bring it, but that's what he's going to do. And now he's up 6-3. Mech not able to follow up on the kickoff. And actually almost got put out of position there. Fortunately, Zapatos got ahead of himself as well. And now Mech will get the boost steal. Zapatos attempt to clear it away. Nice little snag at the midfield 100. Keep Zapatos starred, but that heavy touch, probably not it. I think he could have punished Zapatos just a little bit more. Kept him in a tough spot. Now instead, he's going to have to do something from his own back wall. He's going to try a Diaz challenge of his own. He's going to get the reset, and he's going to score it. So, hey, not many players can score from that back wall. There's a reason why we call it a challenge. I say we. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm crazy and maybe say it sometimes yourself. I say it. It's the Diaz challenge going the full distance. Zapatos is going to hand over a bucket. So it'll be 5-6 as Mech gets within one. With a minute 8 left to go. Zapatos going to get it right back with his kickoff. That's why it can be so brutal. I wonder how much the plank has to do with it. It's interesting if you ask Zapatos, he says that his landing dash, oh my goodness, what is he doing here? He didn't go to the kickoff, it didn't work out. Mech's gonna get one. But he says that his landing dash is actually easier to do on the Octane, because for a while I speculated, oh, maybe the reason why Zapatos is such a pioneer in that landing wave dash is because his plank hitbox helps him. But if you ask him, it actually is easier to do on the non-plank hitboxes. I wouldn't know because I never play a plank, and I'm also not able to do it anyways, so I don't know why we would care what I say. I've maybe done it once or twice, but certainly not at any level of consistency that matters. Ooh, look at the pogo off the side wall recovery. Not sure if Mech meant to do that or not, or just improvising from where he was at. Another Diaz challenge with the game on the line. This time Zapatos, though, at ceiling height at midfield, so instead takes it down to the ground and will take another dribble and actually gets a ton of movement on that reset to tie the game. 7-7 with 16 seconds left to go. Mech showing some Mech there in order to tie it up, and actually might even have a kickoff goal to make it 8-7. So now he's in the lead, and Mr. Kickoff Goal himself is going to have to do something to bring it back. And he gets a diagonal kickoff and actually gets delayed. Zapatos also wasn't going for a wave dash kickoff. He flipped into it, which is pretty rare. I feel like normally he's a wave dash kickoff almost every time. Mech is going to waste out the time. So, Mech is certainly trying to get wins if he's pulling this back and making sure he can finish off the play without Zapatos getting something and actually grab a win. But he got a win here in this private match. I should say, I think the other two were also Zapatos wins. I think if these guys were to play in a best of 7 or best of 5 or any really sets right now, I have Zapatos as the heavy favorite. But it's cool to see him grinding some games with Mech. Maybe, gave him some advice. I don't know. Hopefully he did. Us North Americans, need to try and catch up with these European and Saudi Arabian 1v1ers, and Mech may just be the guy to do it in the future.